Welcome guys to the raid edition of the Hangout in the Crib. We're going to go through the descent briefing today. Some pointers about what you should look at winning as a priority prize, and also talk about the game's updates. Just for a special someone, someone needs me to wave my wallet, so you know who you are. Larry, if you want to kick us off with your slides.
All right. All right, welcome to our Descent Raid info. But first, before we get to the Descent Raid, we need a correction because Tyler is a noob. Friday, if you watched Friday's show, Tyler shared a build that he claimed was mine, except he got it wrong. So it's an instant repair BBA, and Tyler had speed system and solid fuel booster on it. I started a baby base last summer, and so I built this right at the start. So strike N because you win them in the campaign early, BBAs, engine 1, laser 1, iron 4. So this is just under 800 armor and instant repair during raids. And when you're level 30, it tears up everybody else at level 30. It's a lot of fun. And then as you keep getting bigger, you can keep refitting. When you get strike system, then you put strike system on and get the range. You put better laser on it. You can put strike Ls for more range. And then actually when you get to legendary, you can put D1M on it, and it'll still be instant repair. And they get legendary a lot faster than you think because these are instant repair, and you use them during missions and you use them during raids. You just throw them and they get rank really quick. So these are actually a lot of fun when you build them right. So that's enough. Tyler, get my builds right.
That was a very important part of the show. I'm glad that you included that.
Yeah, Tyler, you're a noob, and you're even more of a noob because you can't even get the noob build right from the professor when he's actually given it to you in the first place.
You can't follow a build.
Noob!
All right. And then for the weekly changes, there's some tweaks to the UI. We got these new buttons in the corner of our window. So you've got a build button from your base and a locator button from the world map.
We all love buttons.
Yeah.
Everybody loves pushing buttons.
Yeah. Let's see. So, and then in the build window, you can also, there's a button that takes you to the base planner from there in case clicking on one of your buildings is too hard to get there. And then they changed the campaign HUD and the campaign window a little bit. You get these big check marks and stuff for campaigns you've completed. So, anybody like the new eye? Don't care?
I think it's quite useful. The one on the map being useful, the one inside the base is neither here nor there. Most people have built everything already, but with regards to the locator, it's a lot of people don't know that you can just press L on your keyboard and open it, or they forget. So it just saves a few clicks, makes it easier.
Yeah, I mean, I just usually click the screen and press L, but
yep.
Obviously, if you don't use the shortcuts, then it's a lot better.
All right. Next change that's probably worth talking about. Well, probably not worth talking about, but you can now refit any hull. You used to not be able to refit the Marauder and below, so now you can. Hooray.
Hey, Scotty will like that. I think it was you, Scotty, who coined a fleet up to like max rank on a longship or something, or Marauder. You realised you put the wrong special on?
Yeah. Yeah, I put strike 2 on and not strike 3.
You can now go and refit that and have your legend rank Marauder.
It's great. I'm loving it because I can now refit my legend ranked corvettes and gunboats. It's great.
Yeah.
Which is quite good though,
Reward awards.
because yeah, well, we have little dodgy competitions in my alliance where like the winner gets 50 coins, and we have like a longboat challenge, and we have like gunboat challenges and stuff like that. So you can get the best longboat or gunboat or whatever. So it's quite good for us, just as a bit of fun.
All right. And then all the other changes are just visual changes. Some of the weapons weren't showing up, and I guess some of the TAC modules weren't quite moving right with the ships. So that's all fixed. And that's about it.
One thing though, I've noticed about the wording. I know it's only a small thing, a bit of a nitpicking, but just things that annoy me. You know the depth charge and the obelisk? It says will once again be visible on ships. They've never been visible on ships.
I know.
Yeah.
It's quite upset me really, because on my RAF now people know that there's cryo launchers on there and cryo depth charges. People used to just think there was a one thud on there.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just
And
upset.
now they know.
it was
And
good
now
for
they
like
know.
sneaking
It makes
up
the
on
god
people.
look ugly now. It makes the god look ugly now.
Yeah, it's terrible.
All right. I think we are now on to the raid itself. So raid structure, you've got the same campaigns with the same bonus payouts. You've got world map targets that are now called assault fleets, or I'm sorry, assault forces.
Assault,
Yeah,
assault
assault forces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those get you sector influence, so that's new, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And then you have these unlockable large cooperative assault platforms, and we'll also get to those. It's going to be a 6-day raid, and it is a hull store with lots of hulls. We'll talk more about the hulls later. You can get as many prizes as you want, except for a 5 limit on the Nova Storm, and I guess now there's a 1 limit on the Frostburn, which was just added. And then dredges will be appearing on the normal schedule, and I gave you some links for the video came out this afternoon as well.
What do you think about the dredges being in the raid this time? You know, based on what we saw in that raid video, that Reaver assault platform had 50,000 uranium payout.
I didn't pick that up.
Well, the thing is though, what you got to think is that obviously people below level 60 aren't going to be able to hit the assault platform, are they? That's been stated, I think. So people below 60 can't hit those. So if they do need uranium, obviously having dredges there is going to be an advantage.
I don't know, but would you say that people below 60 really hit dredges? And if they do, is that really important in a raid? The time that they could be spending grinding away?
Yes and no, though. It depends on how much they've got, you know, and if they've been bagging loads of crews and stuff to help them out in the raid and they've run out of uranium. I know damn well that I'll go and prep some dredges for people in my crew.
Yeah, I've had issues before where I haven't been able to get on to get uranium, whatever, for one of them, and then obviously you need crews or a bullseye brigade or something for the raid, and then you can't get one.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's always a good thing, and you know, historically we haven't been able to get uranium during a raid, apart from the crap uranium payout that the raid gives. So, you know, if you're short, I think it's a brilliant idea. I said it last time when it came out, because it was the last raid as well that they done it, and you know, it's really good.
I'd say
basically for the new because we got the new platform, just basically like it's a one-shot, one attempt deal. You know, you don't want to go in there and try to grab some uranium if you don't have the crew that you want. I think that's pretty much the only way it might help me is if I'm like, oh man, I need another crew to get, you know, before I start this big target, then maybe I'll go and hit a couple to roll some. But I don't think other than that, there's going to be much of a use for it.
Well, what you got to also think about is, I mean, I know I told all of my lot, knowing that obviously the dredges were going to be spawning, what I said to him on Tuesday when the dredge spawn came out, I said, just get what you need to do what you're doing, or what you're going to be able to do up until Friday, because at the end of the day, it's half price dredges, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Nothing wrong with half price uranium.
Yeah.
I didn't forget a couple of small retros of like weapons or something.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just if you've got enough to tide you over from the Tuesday, just to hit what you needed until Friday comes, and then do your bulk of your uranium getting on the Friday, because it's half price. Who doesn't? You know, who's not going to like having half price dredges?
Me, I want cheaper.
Aaron Hernandez hates half-price dredges.
You've got to grease monkeys use it.
All right. Hey, so I wanted to talk about the video too. Hopefully you guys have watched the video. Yeah?
I haven't yet, but I'm going to watch it in a second.
Yeah, I have watched it.
So
Yeah.
it shows the it shows the same base being hit 3 times by, first time by Zerkers with Pandemonium, and then Nova Storms, and then Dante's Nova Storm, and it looked like they were trying really hard to convince us that these new prizes are really good and really worth it.
I noticed. I mean, first thing I'm going to say, I can see where you're going, but before you do, I like the way that they've showed different, they've kind of showed the different levels. For whether we agree it's a good ship or not, we'll get into it a bit, but I like the way they've showed some comparison in the raid video.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
I was just gonna say, besides the fact that the hull got slaughtered halfway through a base, I mean that's kind of bad advertising. That's like having like a Corvette commercial and you blow a tire and hit the wall, or you know what I mean? Like you don't want to advertise something that looks like it's not going to do what you want it to do.
Yeah. What were those, 3 Goliaths with Arbalest?
Yeah. I'm hoping it's like the Kodiaks, though. They put that Kodiak video out, and everybody was like, and then Kodiaks turned out to be the best thing smoking for a little while, so, hopefully it's one of those situations.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Kodiaks needed the Siege Z to come out before they were any good, but...
Right.
Yeah.
And then strike missiles were, like, insane for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, until they fixed them.
All right. Anything else about the video?
Yeah. One thing that I noticed is it didn't show us any points indicator. Usually we do get to see some of the actual prize redemption store. Not that it's a big deal because the raid's tomorrow anyway, so you've only got a day to wait. But it's just something I picked up on, which is different to normal.
Yeah. All right.
I need to correct something we said earlier. We were talking about dredges in the raid. There is actually no dredges. Trogar is a forum mod. He's in our chat. He said it was amended in the briefing today. There are no dredges during the raid.
That's rubbish.
It kind of sucks, yeah.
I'll trade a Frosty for dredges. It's okay.
I'm glad I went against my own advice and filled up on uranium now.
Yeah, I'm pretty good as well.
I wonder why they changed it.
I don't know. Maybe
because of the half repair.
Yeah, or maybe it was because they're giving us the Frosty, so it was like, you know what, we're taking the dredges back now.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, I don't think I care, really. I'd rather have a second Frosty than have dredges during the raid, to be honest. And I think it's better that people who haven't got a Frosty can get one.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready to talk about sector influence?
We are.
Okay, so the sector influence picture came from the raid briefing. Maybe it's changed. Who knows? But so as your sector hits world map targets, the sector will gain sector points, and it fills up this bar and unlocks bonuses. So I listed out the bonuses there. You get a point multiplier, Then you get the sector prize store, which is where the Frostburn is. Then you get another point multiplier, and then you get the big Reaver platforms to unlock. And you get a badge.
Ooh.
So, again, I thought it was pretty clear in the briefing, but just to say it again, so the sector influence bar increases when the targets in that sector are hit. Doesn't matter who hits them, whether they're out of sector, in sector, from one alliance or another alliance. There's one bar for the sector, and hitting sector targets in that sector is how you get the points.
Yeah, so just to reiterate, if you are hitting targets outside of the sector that you are in, all you are doing is helping the other sector, not your own.
So, being in sector.
Yeah. So make sure you hit targets inside your sector, especially, I know it's sometimes gets a bit foggy when you're right on the edge of the sector, and you can quite easily put yourself into the next sector. Make sure the targets you're hitting are in the same sector as you're in, because otherwise it's not going to do any favours to the sector influence.
15% though, after the third one's quite a lot.
Well, in the old days, we used to get, what, ×2 when you're doing it on successive days? You remember that?
Yeah, that was awesome. I used to love that. That was great. Used to get on and boost a load of points up the first day and then just log on once and hit one target for the rest of the week. It used to be great.
Yeah. And that multiplier does not affect the completion bonus from campaigns. So it's just the points from killing ships and buildings and stuff. Now, the other thing that I thought was interesting is we don't know how many sector points each target is going to be worth. I mean, when you see like 600 points are needed, I can see these targets being worth like 1 point, 2 points each.
How are they going to do the scaling thing? Because I read a post talking about, smaller, less active sectors aren't going to have to, get as many points to unlock as the other sectors. Like, how does that scale down, or is that still happening?
Does that depend on how many people are in the sector, or?
Oh, look at that. Looks like Trogar in chat is posted it. Actually, he said there's 10 points from a 23, 15 points from a 25, 100 points from a 43, 45 is worth 150 points, 61 is worth 400 points, and a 65 is worth 600 points. So that's actually...
Looks like we'll be hitting 65s.
That's gonna.
Yeah, so
that's gonna
I
get
mean, if
filled up
only
pretty fast, isn't it?
Yeah, if
And
only
a big
3,000
sector.
points are needed, that's pretty.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good. That's pretty good, really. I mean, I thought it would have been different. To be fair, I thought it would have been a lot lower. So yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, maybe it's going to need a lot more points to move that bar. I can't imagine, hit 5 targets and sector influence is all done.
Yeah, it seems a little off to me. Maybe that's a very small sector, like I was talking about with the scaling thing. Bigger.
It depends. I mean, the faster that you get the platforms, which is what everyone's going to want.
Let's not get our hopes up. He's just posted and said the number of active players in the sector will determine the points required. The sector will the number of points that each of those players contributes will be determined by their base level.
Right.
So that the amount of points we've seen on the slide that Larry's got isn't for everybody. We don't know if that's for a busy sector or an empty sector.
That would have to be like an empty sector, I would say.
Yeah, I'm going to say, because 3,000 points, I mean, with the amount of high guides in our sector, you'll have that done in minutes.
Right. Okay, well, we appreciate Trogar feeding us info in chat. He's officially...
Is it a saviour?
Trogar?
Yeah, he's officially the Alliance Crib's favorite moderator.
Yeah, we should get him to replace Scotty.
Yeah. Trogar, message me, because you can come on the show, mate, if you want to. We'd rather have you in here than in chat.
All right. Let's move on.
Another thing that he said earlier, which I don't want it to be buried in chat. Obviously, the dredges are gone, but he says about the uranium from the Reaver, it's called the big base. It is 50,000 uranium each one. The platform is worth.
That's nice.
Yeah, so if you get 4 players in there and do it evenly, you're still getting 10, 12,000 points a run if you do it all. So it's still.
Well, I think that's 50 per person.
I
No,
don't know. I
think
can't
it's
see it being
split.
50 per person. I can see it being 50 overall, but not 50 per person.
Well, either way, it's decent, and I'm assuming people will be hitting multiple targets. So
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So this assault platform. So we know that the numbers on this picture here are a lot lower than what they are supposed to be. Just heard 50,000 uranium split between the players that hit it. So it's a 4-player target. It resets if everybody in the target dies or if a 10-minute timer expires. So it actually sounds like that if that 10-minute timer expires, everybody's going to be kicked out. Yeah?
yeah, it does. You got to kill it within the 10 minutes.
Yeah. So any slots that are open, players can jump in. And the big news with it is there's a chance at winning the Proto Nemesis. So we don't know what that chance is. It's better than the chance of from a Drac base, but it might still be kind of low.
I think the only issue I can see is, are you going to be able to get in straight away? Or is there going to be a delay? Because obviously if you can't get in straight away, you might get in there and one of the people you're doing it has already lost half their fleet.
Yeah, it's true. And as for the Proto Nemesis drop, I mean that could still be equivalent to the chances of winning the lottery. So, I mean, hopefully it's not. And I do think it's quite entertaining that they're going to put up a thing that says across the whole world that you're in every time someone wins a proto. So hopefully it's going to be a fairly decent drop rate.
I've thought about changing my name just in case I win one. Just to change my name to You Didn't Win. So You Didn't Win has won the Proto Nemesis. Just to wind people up. I don't know. Change it to something that will really get people's buttons pressed.
You didn't win the.
Haha, I won, not you.
Yeah. Ha. Just ha. I.
Yeah.
Successful, wasn't it? Ha. I won the Proto Nemesis.
Just to go back to the uranium thing as well, it's still fresh in our mind. Before I forget as well, Drogas said, confirmed it is 50k split between players who are still alive, when the platform's dead. And you can also earn uranium from the buildings just like a drag base. You can use a cutthroats crew for the buildings, but not for the bonus.
Cool. That brings up a thought. If there's parts of this that are, let's say, easy, if there's some outer walls or something that you can just run by, that might be an easy way to just pick up uranium. Is skim an outer wall and pick up a couple hundred or maybe even 1,000 or so uranium and just say done.
If you got cutthroats lying around as well, I mean that's going to help you kill it anyway because of the being radioactive.
Yeah, with the 50% radioactive defense. I mean, I've got 7 lying around because since they changed the prices on the components, because that's pretty much all I'm doing at the minute is components, and I'm going across the board, going from like R0 to R5 at the minute. I've not been using very much uranium for the last couple of weeks, and now I've got like 7 cutthroats saved up, so I'm going to use a few in the raid in the platforms just to boost my rad defense, right? And get rid of them, get down to a decent level, because I can't get any crews at the minute, so, and I don't want to waste them, so it's always a good use to be doing it in raid.
Yep. Any thoughts on assault platform strategy? I mean, these things are big. I think the big question is, should you kind of stay together or split up?
I think packs of 2 would work well.
Yeah.
I'm going to be making a video when the raid starts. I have my team together. I feel a bit like Vin Diesel setting up the team for Fast and Furious. We just need 2 precision drivers. But yeah, I think what we're looking at planning to do is, at least my idea is 2 guys with Frostburn Crusader fleets. So, and then 2 guys with UAV fleet, and then we'll split into 2 packs.
Yep.
One Frostburn Crusader with a UAV backup, and another
On
guy
the
going the
locust.
opposite direction, and we'll kind of circle around the base and meet up in the middle to kill the shrouded ship, because obviously that's a priority target to kill that, so you can kill the remainder of the ships so they're not shrouded. And I think obviously the Frostburns are good to put out all the fire fields and stuff. The Crusaders are just going to tear through the buildings like they're non-existent. In the raid video, if you notice, the Crusaders were damaging the buildings really well.
And the ships.
Yeah, and the ships and the UAVs for the pinch targets. All using Harlocks or Warbirds, ranked up with Hornets or Locusts, I think would be a good idea to get constant pinches on the ships, so your Crusaders can hit more accurately. Because a lot of the Reavers are fast, and we know that fast Reavers get evaded by Crusaders with Arbalest quite a bit. And obviously the Harlocks themselves are going to do a punishing on both the targets, ships and turrets. So that's my idea of what I'm going to do with the team, if you like.
I think ours is pretty much similar, really. I think we're going to be looking probably at taking either 2 Frosty Crusader fleets or Frosty Atlas fleets in to deal with the fleet-to-fleet side of things, and then possibly slam some Hellhounds in with them, with some mortars on to sort of like clear up all the buildings and stuff.
You could use.
Yeah, I think you need a good mix of fleet-to-fleet and sheer base hitting power, really. So that's probably the best way to do it, I would have thought. But obviously, we're only sort of surmising it, really, because we haven't seen it yet. Once we see it, we'll be able to obviously do a bit of video and let people know a bit better.
Someone said on the weekend show that we did as well about they suggested using pinches. Now with 4 people, you can rotate the pinches, so you don't have to coin them. Every time you hit one, the next guy uses the pinch. It's an idea. If you're struggling towards the end, it's a backup, so you can drop a pinch on the turrets and rush in and kill it real quick. Or if the shroud is a really big issue, you can pinch some of them and hopefully kill the shroud before the ships are unpinched. And don't forget road crews. If all 4 of you are using road crews, even just a basic critical hit road crew, Deadeye destroyers, anything's useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, like, with regards to overall raid strategy as well, I think if you're going to be starting to do the raid, you want to be starting to hit the map targets first before going into doing any of your campaigns and get that bonus up as well, because it's going to mean a lot more to you with the bonus on doing the campaigns, with obviously the bonus points that you get for the campaigns.
I mean, I'm obviously going to change the way I play this time, because I normally hit the elite straight away, but obviously I'll just do the map targets instead.
Yeah, I think map targets is definitely the way forward.
Have you guys got any thoughts on talking about road crews? What road crews you would suggest to use in the big Reaver platforms?
Well, I mean, like I said, I've got some irradiated cutthroats, which is going to come in handy for the extra rad defense. Something like the double critical chance, the Deadeye destroyers, is obviously going to be beneficial.
Well, yeah, because that's easy to find as well.
And
Bullseye for your using Crusaders.
Midnight Marauders as well is probably going to help you out quite a lot. And obviously,
Being splitters.
As always with any raid, the Grease Monkeys crew is obviously going to be the king, really, because it's going to half the repairs again, and it'll give you a Midnight Marauders crew.
Oh yeah, that's definite. I was thinking, obviously, at your higher end, a demo squad would be amazing for the, for the mixed resistance on an Atlas fleet. It'd be good. If you haven't got demo squads or legend crews, or you're short on uranium, steelheads is only a common crew. You get 10% defenses. I think it's ballistic, concussive, explosive, and missile. So that will help with a mix of splash damage from your apocalypse morts and javelins, and the napalms with the missile as well. And I think for the Crusaders or ballistics, obviously fearless blitzers. You get ballistic critical hits. I think it's 14%. I can't remember.
Yeah, I've got one there.
And if you're lucky enough to win a bullseye, then obviously that would be great.
Yeah, 11% critical chance with cannons.
I don't know. Thinking about bullseye, I wouldn't say it's worth wasting because the UAVs are going to be killing the ships with the pinches and stuff. You might be better going for a critical hit or a steelhead, something to keep alive longer. Because the whole point is don't die. Because if you die, you're out. If you all die.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think those Reaver ships have much evade on them. So, the benefit you get from the bullseye isn't as much as when you're doing, FEF.
Yeah, I'd agree there.
All right. Any other general tips you want to talk about?
Earth, you had a tip, didn't you, about using Nighthawks in one of the map targets?
Yeah, I mean, there's a slight cock up, should we say, when they issued the dredges on Tuesday, and it ended up popping out some of the map targets. So it just so happened that I was out with a fleet of Nighthawks at the time that it happened, and I managed to hit a 43. And there's two of the Reaver Scout ships in there which have got thermal, but if you keep them on the edge of your range, they don't do any damage to you, or very little. And so you can kill them off. And then there's a couple of little drone things which are pretty much like gunboats that you can kill off. And then there's one Hulk in there which has got missiles on it, which will hurt you with your subs.
What torps do you have on your Nighthawks?
I mean, I've got Z's on there, so Z's or B's will be fine. But yeah, you can do them for pretty much no damage at all. So you should be good if you're gonna hit the 43s. Please, Kickside, don't change it now that I've said it. I don't want people moaning and crying at me because I said that they could do it, and if you change it, they can't. So please don't change it. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, even if you can just go in and use your subs just to get rid of a few things, just to sort of calm the waters a little bit, it's always a good thing. So play smart, don't just keep throwing fleets in.
Yeah, man. Please don't just keep throwing fleets. I mean, it really bothers me when somebody gets on comms, 10 minutes after the raid starts and says, "Oh, all my fleets are dead. I'm gonna quit the raid." Like, you dumbass.
Yeah.
Play smart. All right. What else do I have here? Yeah, prizes, mortar stuff. I think we already talked about these. On the next slide, I updated this chart, which some people like, one person doesn't. But I wanted to show the new prizes on this chart compared to the other mortars. So again, the vertical side is DPS per weight. The horizontal side is range. So you can see where the Searing Barrage mortar falls, just a tremendous amount of DPS compared to any other mortar out there. Pandemonium is better, but it's not, let's just say, drastically better. I mean, you look at the Pandemonium compared to the Chaos, and it's pretty good, but this really, I think, brings home how good that Searing Barrage mortar is. And then the size of these circles, if you're not familiar, is the build time per weight. So the build time on the Searing Barrage is also really good. You know, if you fill a ship with Searing Barrage, it's just not going to take that long to build compared
And
to
they're
the
evil.
Pandemonium. Sorry, what was that, Scotty?
I said, and they're evil. I've been hit by a fleet of hellhounds with one. They're mean.
They are evil.
Yeah.
They do a
Yeah.
lot of damage really quickly.
Yep. And then I put the 2 new mortars on this chart as well, so you can compare it to some other weapons. This came from an article I wrote, and I basically put the weapon on a ship that is suited for that weapon with a special that is suited for that weapon. So like the mortars were on Hellhounds with incendiaries, which at the time was pretty common. Now, if you put these on a Nova Storm, that's going to pump up their DPS per weight even more. So there's that. But anyway, so the Searing Barrage shows up here, you know, kind of the similar damage per weight as like an Arbalest, which, as we all know, is really good. And above a lot of these other weapons, you know, Strike B, Siege Z, Cryo Launchers. And the Pandemonium is in there, but you know, I think this kind of chart really highlights how good that new Searing Barrage mortar is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep going.
Yeah, that Searing Barrage is crazy. You know, the amount of weight, you know, how light it is compared to how much damage you're giving out.
And the amount that it puts out as well.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
definitely a really good mortar to equip.
Yep.
I do apologise if I'm a bit quiet for a couple of minutes. I just need to hit somebody at the minute because I've been waiting for a week to hit them because they keep on troubling and I've just found them. So I do apologise.
Well, don't be shy. Screen share gives the audience something to watch.
All right. I also tried to pick out some of what I thought were the best prizes on each tier. These are my own personal choices. You know, I thought, you know, tier 1, you know, get some of these little hulls. I think they're pretty good for what they are. Sawfish on tier 2 I thought was kind of interesting coming back. You know, again, a small player who can't afford much else. If you can get the Sawfish and you can, you know, stretch to the Arbalest, that might be a pretty fun little combo.
Come on, mate. I mean, my mate's got R5 Swordfish, and he used them to auto the 27s and stuff on the campaign for no damage.
Mm-hmm.
And the 47s for no damage. Sure,
have you considered, Larry, maybe is it possible for someone to grind out and get the Strike Cruiser X from a campaign in the half repair rather than going for the Sawfish?
Yeah. Yeah, you could do that as well. I mean, the Strike Cruiser X takes a little longer to build. I mean, that's maybe a different class of hull, but yeah, yeah, if you're really looking to move up and hit bases and stuff, yeah, the Strike Cruiser X is obviously a lot better than the Sawfish.
Yeah, it's definitely got a longer lifespan, I think.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, none of the ships, you know, don't take a ship that you can get in prize pack 1 of the campaign, any campaign. You know, don't spend raid points on it, because
I'd agree with the same with the Golly. To be honest, you can get it in the campaign, so
yeah,
use them points to get something that you can't get otherwise.
Those battle barge A's that I showed at the beginning of this this presentation, those can do, you know, once you get them a little bit retrofitted with like the strike system, those can do any of those prize pack 1s during a raid, any of them. I've done it, and you know, you have 12 hours, and you know, it takes maybe a couple hours, but you can do it for free. No coins, no raid points, just do it and get those hulls.
Something else that I've just thought about, I believe it's in tier 3, the Vindicator. If you know, I think first of all, I want to say if you're going into this raid, have at least some idea of what you want out of the raid. Whether you're looking for a ballistic fleet or a missile fleet, have some idea of what to aim for. So, if the Swordfish is something you're considering, it's a 6-day raid. Grind it out and try and get the Vindicator. Maybe it's definitely preferred to the Swordfish, and don't forget that is becoming R10 after the raid, so that's going to increase its lifespan and make it, a bit of a longer lasting fleet.
See what I mean? One thing I was going to add to tier 2 as well, that if you haven't got it, is Battlecruiser X, because if you can't get the Frostburn, you can still R10 that and get 75 thermal on it. I mean, you've got a fleet of them paying.
It's a regular battlecruiser that gets the thermal.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry, the ballistic one. My bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Does the Battlecruiser X get thermal as well?
No,
No, it doesn't. The Battlecruiser X is only currently up to R5, and there's no thermal on there. But I don't imagine it will get thermal because it's not a sub-killing fleet. It's more of a ballistic.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm back. Boondocks is flat now, so. Hi, Boondocks, MDs.
Good
Or
work.
should I say bye?
Yeah. Battlecruisers, great pickup. I thought
New
Barracuda on
cruisers.
tier 3. We haven't seen any prize subs in a while, so if you can't get Nighthawks, go for Barracudas.
New cruiser going to R10 as well.
Yeah, new cruiser's
got
another
them.
good pickup.
That leads me on to a point to say I'm disappointed there's no Dreadnought because of it becoming R10. They've got all the others. They've got the Guardian, the New Cruiser, and the Vindicator in the raid, but there's no Dreadnought. I'm disappointed there.
And then the Frostburn. We spent a little while last week discussing our love for the Frost. So, that, I mean, if you can get the Frostburn, get the Frostburn.
To be honest, I'd say if you can get nothing else, get the Frostburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
spend the time
100% agree with that.
Spend the time to get that rather than some of the other stuff, because that thing's amazing.
The thing is, I mean, we've gone across this a couple of times recently with some builds and stuff that we've been and done on the show, and the Frostburn is so versatile. It makes so many fleets. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's awesome for doing dredges. It's awesome for multiple different fleets for hitting bases. Frosty Crusaders, Frosty Kodiaks. Just for that. Yeah, for Mastodons, just for the benefit of the fact that it stops all the Wendigo stuff. So, it's an immensely important hull to have. It makes your life so much easier in so many ways. It's unbelievable.
Because you don't even need to put weapons on it, to be honest. I mean, you can just build it with just armor and put it in front of your a fleet to do dredges.
Exactly. I mean, my Frostburn's just got armor, a couple of specials on it, and it's got one cutlass on it because it slots in with probably 6 different fleets that I've got, and it's really, 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 really good ship. So if you can get it, definitely get it.
Yeah, Go ahead, Larry.
Sorry, yeah, my Frostburn build's pretty heavy. I put all cryo end launchers and then Gauss on it, so it can actually, if it's got, like against buildings, each salvo gets a cryo explosion. But yeah, if I'm probably gonna go for a second one and would build it, like you said, build it really light weapons.
But it's a 5-day build for the ship just blank. So obviously, if you just put your armor on it, it's not going to be a stupid build. It's something you can use for multiple things.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna be really controversial here and ask what you guys think about this being offered, whether it should have been offered or not. And I want to know your reasons why you think whatever you think.
I think it definitely did need to be offered, mostly because I want a second one, but also the fact that it is such an integral ship in base hitting at the minute. Just for the fact of the Wendy, it makes so much difference. It really, the only ships that can really counteract the effects of the Wendigo is the Hellhound, which is extortionate repair, or the Frostburn. So And with it putting out the fire fields as well, it becomes such multi-role, especially with its 90 thermal range. It's really important ship for everybody to have, really. I think it's quite good that they've offered it.
I mean, to be honest, it's again what you say. It's needed with the Wendigo, so people that maybe didn't have the fleets to get it last time can get it this time and have to, up their game to hit better bases. But I kind of don't like the fact that you can get 2 of them now. Even though I will get another one because I can, but I don't like the fact you can have 2 of them. Because I think that and the Phantom are like that much of a strong limited hull.
No, this is where me and Scotty disagree. We've had this discussion earlier, didn't we? And
yeah,
my take on it is, I wasn't sure whether it should. It's not been out that long, and there's 2 sides to it. I think people who went and grinded it out have spent a lot of time and effort to get it because it's a limited ship. So we didn't know when they were going to come back or if they were going to come back, and it seems really quick compared to the last rotation of limiteds where you had the release of the Savage and the Highlander,
and then the UI.
But like Earth said, it's such an integral part of the game, and the game's adapted so much where it's like a lot of bases rely on Frosty or Hellhounds, or you're not getting it. I can kind of see why they've done it. As for having 2, I think if someone's gone out there and grinded away for that, for the limited ship, and now someone else can get one, why shouldn't they get 2?
Exactly.
Why can't they grind again and get a second? I don't see the difference. They've got a Frostburn anyway, so they're going to use it. It just makes life a little bit easier. And if they've gone out and earned it once, I think it's only fair they should get it again.
Personally, in my opinion, really, the only ship that I don't think that anybody should have any more than 1 of is the Phantom Nighthawk. That's just my personal thought. I don't think that anybody should have any more than 1.
Well, I think Phantom Nighthawks are terrible for the game in general. I think there should be 0 Phantom Nighthawks. So
I think based on what I'm saying about the Frostburn, with the way that they should get a second because of how they've grinded it and they thought it was limited. With the same ethos, I suppose I would argue, they should have a second Phantom. Whether I would like people to have 2 or not is a different story. But if you're looking at it with an even playing field,
I think. Yeah, I know, but I think
it's too much of a strong hull to have 2 of the 2 invisible ships on the map all the time. It's ridiculous.
Look at the Frostburn and how it's such an amazingly powerful hull. If you have it, you could argue having 2 of them is unfair because now
I do.
I
think that should be 1 per player.
I don't know. I don't really agree with that. I think the trouble is with the Phantom is that because you can't see it. Because this always amazes me is that it's fine to have a Phantom Nighthawk that can snipe your fleets as you launch them out of your base, yet having an invisible sub in bases is not good.
Here we go again.
Oh no, I'm not saying anything. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. I don't care about anything else. Well, just saying.
I think they should make a way that you can actually attack. I don't know, a way that you can actually detect a Phantom on the map. Maybe a special that you have to have on the ship that you can see within a certain distance away or something.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is that what's really upsetting me at the minute is that the old glitch is back, where you used to go through a tower and you'd be halfway across a sector, and then suddenly your fleet stops in the middle of the sector and starts glowing red because it's been hit by somebody at the other tower about a minute and a half after it's already gone through it.
I still agree that the tower should be a safe zone. It should be a safe area around the towers where you can't get sniped at the tower.
It's getting beyond a joke, the amount of fleets. I mean, the thing is that people are purposely doing it to us at the minute because
my Phantom Nighthawk.
I don't like that, Scott. If there's a safe zone around towers, imagine all memorials people will hold there just to piss off memorial snipers.
That's true.
Or at least add some sort of firmware to it so you can see the Nighthawk sitting at the tower.
What I was thinking about that they probably can't because people who own Nighthawks, it's kind of unfair to nerf them now. But if the stealthing was if the stealthing was degraded, like they're invisible on the map until you use them, and then once you hit somebody, then they're visible, and so you got to dock them again before you can be invisible again or something. Because just sitting there picking off fleet after fleet after fleet is just,
and you can do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Well, Kickstarter lost loads of cash this week because people have been sat outside my base, and every time I launch a base route to go and smash a base, which I would probably usually repair straight away, it's been snagged by hawks. So I've just gone, you know what, I'm not going to waste the money or the time and effort to repair that fleet just so it can be snagged again as soon as I launch it out my base. So I just docked it and I haven't played.
I still think there should be some way to kind of detect or engage with them. I don't know how they do it, but like say, having to take up a special or something on your ship.
I mean, if you've got them and you're having fun with them, then yeah, that's all good. But at the end of the day, my sort of thing of it is that I personally, as a general rule, unless I'm sniped beforehand, will not snipe any ships, because the way that I see it is I know how much things cost to repair, and I don't want to be taking that away from people. People have their budgets to play, etc., etc. I don't want to be taking away their playing time and basically detracting from the game by sniping their fleet as soon as they launch it out of their base. Because at the end of the day, if people can get their stuff sniped straight away as soon as they launch it, they ain't going to be playing for very long.
Do you know what's even worse than that? I would say is people who get you going through a tower, and we all know that there's a problem where you go through a tower and you kind of get hooked going through the tower, but you can't control it. You don't even know you're in the battle. You can't see it. That's what's red in the corner.
Yeah, that's what's been happening to us all week.
People can kind of do that, and then you can't control the battle. So it's not like they're hitting your fleet and okay, the fight. Let's go. Let's see if I can kill this Dino fleet. You're giving them all the opportunity because
you've got no chance of defending it, have you? So you can't even
even if you could outdrive it and say, reduce your repair, try and run away or whatever, you have no option of doing that.
It's just straight dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially when you're talking about hellhounds, like being like, if you haven't got them fully ranked up, you're talking sort of like 80, 90 coins to repair a hellhound fleet. I mean that's stupid.
Just think it would be good to at least have the option to fight. You get people who get sniped and they just fuck it. They just sit the fleet there and accept the death. I don't. If some fucking cunt snipes me, I will do it as much as I can to try and kill or damage them subs before I die. I'll try and kite them round and trap them and stuff. It's just nice to have that that option if I do get sniped. Yeah.
Yeah, and Irf, I mean, you talk like, I might, repair those ships and send them out, but I'm choosing not to. There's a lot of players that are just going to say, oh, they hit my fleet I'm doing the mission with, or that I was going to hit a base with. Well, I'm done playing for the night. I'm going to click repair and go do something else. There's a lot of players, myself included, who will do that. It's like, screw it. I don't need that grief.
Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, I enjoy hitting bases, and I'll repair my fleets to do it, but I'm not being funny. If I launch a fleet out of my base and it's going to cost me $9 to repair it, and I haven't even used it, do you really think that I'm going to coin it and go back out and chance that again? No.
I definitely think everyone should get a Froster if they can. I mean, even just to get your line.
Thank you for getting us back on topic, Scotty.
Yeah,
I thought somebody had to.
Well, I'll tell you what, we haven't got much time left, but someone's asked me a question in a PM. I thought it's best to answer on the show. It's quite a good question. They wanted to know, they said to me, I've got a Frosty already, and I'm not sure whether it's worth grinding for a second. Shall I just get some other ships? And my answer would be yes, get that. They're Frosty, they use it as a mix of a Mastodon spotter for dredges, sometimes in bases with Mastodons, and just as a general fire extinguisher, like most people do. But you can build you can build your fleets more specific. So you could have one for bases, one for dredges, and you can alternate between the repairs and reduce your repair bills. You can also put it.
Bases.
Yeah, one for fleet with torrents for sub killing, one for bases with a spotter. I've got a build that I love with my deluge, and I'm glad that I can separate the two now and have one focus for my deluge prep fleet and one for all the other chores. So. And also base defense. If you're not using a flagship in base defense, there is no ship in the game that has a better sonar capability and a better thermal capability than this.
Well, not only that, I mean, you're on about repairs and that. You can, if you've got two of them, say for dredges, bases, whatever, you can use one that gets damaged, put that on repair, and then use the second one, and just build them the same.
Mm-hmm.
Or one's repairing, you can use the other one.
Definitely.
Yeah. So in summary to that person, like I told you in the message, yes, prioritize the Frosty, whether you have one or not.
Definitely.
Okay. Yes, agreed. Get a Frostburn. I want to point this out. I think who noticed this first? Rob, you, Irf? I don't know.
Yeah.
Notice this new stat coming up on the Proto, and then we noticed it coming up on the Hammerhead.
It was on the gunboat.
Noticed it on the gunboat. So it wasn't, first thought was, ooh, something special buff on the Proto.
Yeah, we were getting so excited. There's a guy in our alliance who had the Pro, and he's like, Rob, look at this, and I'm like, holy shit, I want the Pro Nemesis, I need it. And then I saw it on the gunboat, and I'm like,
fucking over the gunboat, he was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just on your screen. It's not anything new or changed or whatever. It's new stats to probably enable this Nova Storm type special stuff. So don't freak out.
I'm gutted because I thought, all of those bases with 14 napalm missiles on there, I thought, wicked, happy days. Let's go and take it out with some gunboats. But
Corvette.
I even started looking at the Proto Nemesis has a rocket boost, doesn't it? Inherent to the ship. I even started considering going back to Infernos and can I build a blitzer with this and run through the base and speed up? But no,
that Corvette for the Magma Thrower.
I deleted that build from my archive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking about the Proto,
all right.
we're running out of time. I would have liked to go and talk about some builds, but I don't think we've got time, have we? Maybe it's something for Friday. But what do you think in a nutshell about the Proto? Worth grinding and trying to win or not?
Well, it's more of a trophy than anything else, as it is now. I mean,
I still think it'd be used for dredges and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no rad resist.
It's the rad resist and the lack of evade on it is the real downfall.
I'm just gonna. I know we haven't got time, and I'm not going to go through all the builds, but you were saying about radiation resist and the evade. Talk amongst yourselves while I get the build up. But
it's slow.
How about this? 72% radiation defense, 60% evade, 88,000 armor, combat speed of 18.3. That I know we haven't got time to look at the whole build. On paper, those stats aren't too bad. 70 ballistic, 73 explosive, 67 missile, 60
those
resist.
Those are 9 pandemoniums?
Yes. and some throwers.
Yeah.
And then a Jug-X decoy just to help reduce the repair on the Nemi. It's just, I mean, I've got, you can see there's 3 builds up here. We were going through loads of builds the other night, and I'll share some of them on maybe the Friday show. We'll dedicate some time to the Nemesis, seeing as it's the topic.
Is that like 89,000 arm points? No enough.
Well, look at the build time.
88 points.
52 days, 13 hours for the Nemi, and a 3-day, 16-hour repair. So it's definitely a novelty, but
you can kind of fleet for that price.
Yeah, but it is a fleet. So the build times on the Nemesis I don't think are a problem because you're getting a fleet.
Yeah, true.
It's the repair time that kills it.
Yeah.
Look at that. Thinking about this though, 2523 gold. Crusaders were over 4,000.
Right. You're getting a fleet.
So see, you say that because I mean I've been playing about with it. just having a laugh, really, more than anything. And I thought, if I win a Proto, I'm just for shits and giggles more than anything, I'm going to build myself an Arbalest Proto just for a laugh.
Oh, that'd be funny as hell.
I was just going to load it up with Arbalists and then just trot it down through bases just for a laugh and see how it does.
Chogo's got a nice idea. It's something that I've seen said a few times before. Build a Proto Nemesis, sail it from one end of the world to the other, and giggle his arse off while people try to attack it.
I think they're in Vega.
I mean, this reminds me of an episode. There's an episode of Top Gear. If anyone knows, I should hope you know what Top Gear is. If you do, then I've got no time for you. If you don't know what it is, but basically, they did an episode of Top Gear where I think Jeremy had a McLaren, one of them had an Audi, and they're 3 sports cars, and they drove along this promenade or something, and the task was to see exactly how many flashes they caught off the camera. How many people took a picture of the car while it was driving past to see. Whose car was more popular. It would be cool if you could take that stat on the Nemi. How many times going from sector 1 to 100 was that posted to codes?
Yeah, but see, the thing is that in the past it's always sort of been like that because they've been so rare. I kind of feel a bit upset that it's not going to be like that anymore. If there's going to be quite a few of them about, I don't know. I feel a bit sort of downhearted about it.
Yeah, it takes away the novelty of it a little bit.
Yeah, but you say that. I mean, what a lot of guys with Protos got banned.
Well, let's look at this though. Think about the other side of it. If this is becoming so popular, what does that tell us about the future and any new possibilities that we might get? Any new rarer ships? Now we've got Reavers and new all this new stuff coming in the future to look forward to.
Proto comes out in a raid.
Maybe there's
R5.
Yeah, I mean, imagine having the Proto rarity as a Reaver bulkhead, and you could drive around with one of those.
Yeah, well, I can see in the near future now that obviously this has been done with the Proto. I can see the Proto disappearing from Drac bases shortly and being replaced by something else, which I think would be good after they've done this because it's really taken the novelty away from it quite a lot. I mean, realistically, it's not what it once was, and with the amount of stuff that's been going on in the game, all of the changes, it's not what it used to be. But it's still good to go and see him. I mean, last night we were playing last night, and we were playing with Santana. It was my alliance and Santana versus another alliance. And Santana launched out his Proto Nemesis, which he has specifically built as a sub hunter, believe it or not.
Oh no! Beautiful. Beautiful.
He absolutely loves it. He just loves popping out his Proto Nem, along with 2 Vipers and a Nighthawk in his fleet.
We've got a
and
guy
he sits there and just waits for people to attack it with subs and kills them. It's funny.
Well, I've actually recorded a hit from last night, like a tag team with me and someone in my alliance, Low Dog. He used his Proto. His Proto is completely unarmored, but he still used it anyway. I prepped out some of the Goliaths in the base, and he had the same thing, with sub killers along with the ship. And then it's definitely something to do, run around almost trolling subs. That's one way to kill Nighthawks at the tower. Sit a Nemesis at the tower. And I guarantee if me and Scotty went to hit bases together and he wanted to get to the tower, he sends his Highlander flagship, I send my Nemi flagship. What's going to get hooked at the tower?
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody wants to sink an Nemi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it just makes it a pain in the arse to rank.
That was going to be my guard. I was going to put my Rush Vipers with a Nemi in front of it.
I mean, in the sector that I'm in at the minute, between my alliance and another alliance that's in the sector, there's 3 Nemesis already in the sector. So we've been playing, every now and then when we all get together, because obviously we're alliance to the other alliance.
Did you just say Nemesises?
Yeah, or Nemesis. Well, I don't know what's the
grammar.
What's the plural of it? What is the plural of it?
If a word ends in the letter S, it has an apostrophe after the word. There's no extra S.
Then.
It's just Nemesis.
Alright, well, I don't really care.
There was three.
Fuck that, Rob.
There was 3 Nemesis.
Be
That's it.
politically correct.
It's not politically
Alright.
correct. It's grammatically correct. I know there's a lot of people on the Alliance crib.
There's 3 protos.
They're gonna
Move on.
appreciate.
Yeah,
They're
alright,
gonna
yeah.
appreciate what I've just done.
So anyway, you know, whenever we get together, we always like to do the old Proto Wars. So yeah, that's going to be a new thing with anybody else that gets them. I'm sure there's going to be lots of Proto Wars and Proto Wars videos soon. So I look forward to that. Let's see who can build the best Proto. You will, fellow.
Prototies.
Shut
Fuck
up.
off. Ugh.
Big ass shit.
Right. So I think that's pretty much us, isn't it?
Yeah. Don't forget we got a show Friday mid raid. So that'll be interesting. We'll get a few of you guys on. Come and let us know if you want to be on the show. First come, first serve base. I'm going to call that now because there's quite a few times I've got people messaging me and I'm having to tell them no. And I am blunt. I would just say no, there is no space. So unfortunately, it's a first come, first served. We're obviously going to be discussing the raid. I'm going to dedicate a little bit of time to talk about the Nemesis builds. See how I did that, Earth? No Nemesises.
Shut up.
So, so yeah, you know, if come on the show with us Friday. Bring a Nemesis build with you and a drink, and we'll discuss the raid. And me and a few guys in my alliance are gonna do a live stream. I'm not sure when. Probably
Speaking of that, I've just got my new toys for the raid.
Scott has coined his part of the live stream. Brilliant. But yeah, we'll post details a few hours before we do it. We haven't actually set a time yet, but hopefully it will help people who are not willing to lose the fleets and not, you know, without knowing what's inside the Reaver Assault platform. So that'll be something useful, I hope, for everyone.
Yeah, so yeah, just don't forget to check out the Battle Pirates Quid page. We'll post some videos of some bits and pieces. Anything we can find that's going to help you out, we'll try and post it up. And pretty much that's it, I think, really.
Yeah. Don't forget to check out Asda. They've got some really cheap drinks at the moment.
Oh, and of course, check out Larry's blog because Larry's a legend.
bpprof.blogspot.com, and there's a link on the side where you can grab the slides from this or any of the Hangout shows.
Yeah.
Nice.
You made some good stuff.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I like your slide today. There was some animations added today. I like that.
Yeah.
Bit of variety.
Hey, it's a visual medium, you know.
To be fair, he's probably the most professional part of our entire organisation. So
Yeah.
get yourself over there.
Yeah. Without Larry, it'd
Right.
just be a few drunks.
I'm drinking. Mad Tree Happy Amber.
What the hell is that?
That is Mad Tree Happy Amber. See, there's a happy oak tree, and it's really good beer. And see, it's the thing now. Microbrews put them in cans because light hurts beer.
I'm drinking ladies' drinks, as people would define it. Strawberry and lime Copperberg fruit cider. It is fucking amazing.
For a lady.
Yeah. Let's end this shit. Thanks for coming out and watching us, guys, and bearing with us.
All right.
Catch you all.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys. Catch you later.